Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Roman Reigns is the biggest star in pro wrestling today, or at least an argument can be made as such. He is easily right up there with John Cena, Randy Orton, and others in the upper echelons of WWE and the wrestling industry as a whole. Unfortunately, the OTC hasn't been around for several weeks now. He will inevitably return, and when he does, fans will be looking closely to see what he does. In what could be a major twist, there is a chance that Roman Reigns could shockingly turn heel and rejoin Paul Heyman. Heyman now leads a group alongside Seth Rollins that also features Braun Breaker. The Weissman betrayed both Roman and CM Punk to align himself with Rollins at WWE WrestleMania 41. The faction then beat Reigns and Punk down on Raw 2 nights later. While fans expect Roman to come back seeking revenge, the big dog could opt to do something different entirely. He could instead choose to reunite with his Weissman. There is an old expression, if you can't beat him, join him. Roman may see the writing on the wall. The bigger issue will be Roman Reigns having to reunite with the Visionary. With their history dating back to FCW, NXT, and The Shield, they can surely get past their issues to take over WWE. Only time will tell. The threat of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker, with Paul Heyman as the mastermind, is scary. It would be nearly impossible for anybody to take this unit down. However, there is one option. The Bloodline could reunite. Roman has been the leader of the group, at least one iteration of it. With that being said, he has made a lot of enemies, and joining Rollins, Heyman, and Breaker to create even more. Jey Uso and Sami Zayn already have issues with the group and have fought Reigns before. Jimmy Uso would likely stick by his twin and Zayn now that they've reunited. However, there could be an even bigger secret weapon. The new Bloodline. Solo Sikoa hates Roman Reigns. Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tom DeLoa were brought into WWE to take out the OTC. If Sami, Jay, and Jimmy could somehow reunite with Solo and the rest of the new Bloodline, the group of Roman, Seth, Braun, and Paul would be overrun easily. In a development that could send shockwaves across the WWE universe, speculation is mounting that Roman Reigns may soon undergo another seismic shift in character, possibly turning heel once again and reuniting with his longtime advocate Paul Heyman and former Shield brother turned frenemy Seth Rollins. As WrestleMania 41 fades into history and WWE enters a critical post-Mania season, fans and insiders alike are buzzing about cryptic signs, backstage whispers, and narrative breadcrumbs that suggest Roman Reigns could be preparing to reassert his dominance in the most diabolical fashion imaginable. Roman Reigns' reign as the tribal chief may have ended at WrestleMania 41, but the legacy he carved in that role is far from over. After suffering a controversial and emotionally charged loss to Cody Rhodes, Reigns has gone dark, vanishing from television, declining interviews, and reportedly refusing creative meetings in recent weeks. That silence has only amplified the mystery surrounding his next move. WWE's most polarizing figure of the modern era may be ready to return, but not as the fallen king desperate to reclaim his crown. Instead, the murmurs suggest that Reigns is about to rise again with a renewed vision of destruction, fueled by betrayal, vengeance, and ambition. The catalyst for this potential transformation? None other than Paul Heyman, the master manipulator who has been suspiciously quiet since Reigns' downfall. Sources close to WWE creative claim that Heyman has pitched a radical reunion storyline that brings back the cerebral alliance between himself and Reigns. But this time with a twist. Seth Rollins could be the third pillar of the new faction. Heyman has long admired Rollins' ability to adapt, evolve, and dominate in any setting. And while Rollins has walked the line between face and heel in recent years, a darker alliance with Reigns could set the stage for the most powerful trio WWE has seen in over a decade. Rollins, freshly returned from injury and reeling from his own WrestleMania disappointment, has also remained uncharacteristically silent. On Raw, he's appeared sporadically, often brooding in the shadows, speaking in cryptic riddles, or walking out during key matches without explanation. Some fans even noticed that during a recent backstage segment, Rollins passed Paul Heyman without so much as a glance. But the camera lingered just long enough to capture Heyman's sleazy smirk. Was it a coincidence or a carefully planned Easter egg pointing to a bigger story? Adding to the intrigue is the shared history between these three men. Rollins and Reigns were brothers in the Shield, a faction that redefined WWE's landscape in the early 2010s. Their relationship, however, has been anything but stable since that group's dissolution. While Rollins was the architect who betrayed the Shield, it was Reigns who would later ascend to become the face of the company. Their battles have been epic, their chemistry undeniable, and if brought together under the guidance of Paul Heyman, the possibilities could be endless. Insiders suggest that the plan, if it unfolds, could lead to a long-term power struggle storyline that sees Reigns and Rollins form a strategic, uneasy alliance to reshape WWE in their image. Heyman, the puppet master, would play both sides, whispering into the ears of both men while watching the world burn. It's a narrative ripe with drama, betrayal, and psychological warfare, the very essence of what makes wrestling storytelling great. One possible route WWE could take involves Roman Reigns returning at SummerSlam with Heyman by his side, interrupting a major title match involving Seth Rollins. Instead of attacking Rollins, Reigns could shock the world by saving him, aligning with him against a common threat, perhaps Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, or even a newly dominant faction led by Gunther. The visual of Reigns, Rollins, and Heyman standing side by side, united in darkness, would instantly send fans into a frenzy and reignite one of the most iconic alliances in WWE history. But not all fans are thrilled at the prospect. While many recognize the star power and chemistry between Reigns and Rollins, some argue that Roman's heel run as the tribal chief has run its course, and aligning with Heyman once again could be seen as retreading old ground. However, the counter-argument is that this new alliance wouldn't be a simple retreat, it would be a reinvention. Reigns would not be the same tribal chief, and Rollins would not be the same architect. Together, under Heyman's vision, they could forge something entirely new, a faction that's less about family bloodlines and more about intellectual dominance, psychological manipulation, and total control of WWE's future. Meanwhile, WWE creative has reportedly been split on the idea. One camp sees this potential heel turn and alliance as a chance to revive the drama that made the Bloodline saga so compelling, while introducing new wrinkles through Rollins' unpredictable persona. Another camp believes Roman should return as a tweener or even a face, capitalizing on the sympathy he garnered after losing to Cody Rhodes and potentially setting up a redemptive arc. But Vince McMahon's departure and Triple H's increased creative control has made bold storytelling more likely, and sources claim that nothing is off the table for Roman Reigns' next chapter. Fans online are also dissecting clues. Roman's social media accounts have gone dark, but eagle-eyed fans noticed that Paul Heyman recently liked a tweet about unfinished business and fallen kings rising. Rollins, meanwhile, posted a cryptic quote from Friedrich Nietzsche: "He who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster." The timing of these posts, paired with the absence of clear direction for all three men, only fuels speculation. The idea of a Reigns-Rollins-Heyman triumvirate could also serve as a narrative bridge toward the next WrestleMania. Imagine this faction reigning supreme for months, taking out contenders, manipulating authority figures, and making calculated moves across both Raw and SmackDown. Then, as WrestleMania 42 approaches, the inevitable fractures begin to form. Old wounds resurface, paranoia creeps in, and just like the Shield before them, this new alliance implodes in spectacular fashion. Only this time, the betrayal would carry years of psychological weight and history behind it. The stakes would be immense. Who turns on whom? Is Heyman truly loyal to either man, or is he playing both sides to crown a new head of the table? And could this lead to the long-awaited Rollins versus Reigns main event on the grandest stage of them all, with Paul Heyman's allegiance hanging in the balance? While it remains to be seen whether WWE will fully commit to this storyline, the building blocks are undeniably present. Roman Reigns' return, whenever it happens, will be a monumental moment. Aligning him once again with Paul Heyman could restore the cerebral, calculating menace that made his heel run iconic. Bringing Seth Rollins into the mix adds a layer of depth, unpredictability, and star power that few other options could match. For now, the WWE Universe waits. SummerSlam is on the horizon. Paul Heyman continues to lurk in the background. Seth Rollins smiles, but never says what he's thinking. And Roman Reigns? Somewhere in the shadows, the fallen tribal chief may be plotting his next move. The only question that remains is this: when he returns, will Roman Reigns still demand to be acknowledged, or will he force the world to bow, once again, to a new era of dominance led by the most dangerous alliance WWE has seen in over a decade? Stay tuned. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.